Imagine this. You head to your grocery store, expecting to find the essentials that you rely on, only to find empty shelves where your favorite products once sat. What if I told you that 68% of grocery suppliers are already warning of critical shortages? Those supply chain issues you've been hearing about? They're about to hit your kitchen harder than ever before. I've been diving into reports from major food distributors and agricultural forecasts, and what I uncovered was shocking. These aren't just luxury items. We're talking about everyday staples your family relies on. Over the next few minutes, I'll reveal which 10 grocery items are disappearing fast, and more importantly, what you can do right now to stay ahead of the shortages before it's too late. This isn't about panic buying, it's about being prepared when everyone else is scrambling. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end. The third item on the list, it caught me completely off guard, and I bet it'll surprise you too. So let's dive right in, starting with the 10 grocery items that will be nearly impossible to find before May 2025. Number 10, olive oil. This one's about to become liquid gold, and I'm not exaggerating. Southern Europe has been hit with the worst drought in 50 years, and it's taken a huge toll on olive oil production. Spain, Italy, and Greece, which together produce over 70% of the world's olive oil, have seen harvests slashed by nearly 60%. This isn't just a minor shortage. It's a full-blown crisis that's already impacting your wallet. Have you noticed the price of olive oil creeping up? That $15 bottle might soon cost you $25 and eventually $40, if you can even find it at all. The shortage isn't coming. It's already here, and it's getting worse by the day. A friend of mine recently went to 3 different stores just to find 1 bottle of extra virgin olive oil. That's gonna be the new normal for millions of Americans. What's truly shocking is how quickly this happened. Just 8 months ago, olive farmers were reporting concerning conditions. Now, crop failures are widespread, with olive groves in Spain and Italy, some that have been around for hundreds of years, struggling to survive due to heat stress and a lack of water. Major grocery chains, including Costco, Kroger, and Whole Foods, are already limiting how many bottles customers can buy, preparing for what insiders are calling the Great Olive Oil Disappearance. I spoke with a regional manager at a big grocery chain who told me off the record, "We're looking at completely empty shelves by April. Our suppliers can't fulfill our orders." Restaurants are panicking too. One local chef told me they're revamping their menu because olive oil prices are eating into their margins. Think about it. Every drizzle on bread, every salad dressing, every dish. It all adds up quickly when prices skyrocket. Even more concerning, olive oil fraud is on the rise. With prices climbing, cheap oils are being sold as premium extra virgin olive oil, and experts warn that up to 30% of the olive oil on the shelves could be fraudulent by spring 2025. So, what can you do about it? First, if olive oil is a staple in your kitchen, consider buying an extra bottle or 2. Not hoarding, just smart preparation. Explore alternatives too, like avocado oil, which has a similar health profile, or grapeseed oil, which is fantastic for stir-frying. Walnut or pumpkin seed oils can add incredible flavor to your salad dressings, while smaller, locally owned grocery stores might still have better stock. Prices are soaring everywhere. If you've been thinking about taking that olive oil cooking class or trying a new olive oil-based recipe, now's the time before this kitchen staple becomes a luxury few can afford. And that's just the start. Stay tuned, because we're diving deeper into the shortages that are about to change the way you shop and cook. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Imagine waking up one morning, craving that rich, comforting sip of coffee that kickstarts your day, only to walk into the kitchen and find a jar of beans, or worse, the entire coffee aisle, completely bare. That might sound extreme, but it's exactly what's coming if you love coffee as much as I do. You see, Brazil, which grows a third of the world's favorite Arabica beans, just endured one of its worst droughts in recent memory. Yields are down more than 12%, and no rain means no beans. Down in Vietnam, the world's top supplier of Robusta beans, used for instant coffee and espresso blends, scorching heat and strange weather swings have crushed harvests. Add El Niño into the mix, and coffee farms are collapsing under conditions even the experts can't predict. This isn't just a few bad harvests, it's a global coffee emergency. Earlier this year, Arabica prices shot up to over $4.41 per pound, the highest in more than 10 years. And with supplies shrinking and demand barely budging, prices are doomed to climb higher. But here's the part most people don't see. It's not just how little coffee is being grown, it's who gets first pick. Major coffee companies are rationing their shipments, sending beans to the highest bidders, often in Europe or Asia, while your local grocery store gets squeezed. Some chains in Europe already have empty coffee shelves. Others are cutting back orders or choosing to ship only to their most profitable markets. And if you fancy those specialty roasts, single origin, organic, small batch blends, brace yourself, because these will disappear first. They come from tiny, delicate farms where even a slight change in weather can wipe out an entire season's crop. Once those beans are gone, there's no quick substitute. Even Sam Cass, the former White House chef, warned that coffee could soon become a luxury, meaning your morning cup might cost as much as your lunch. The real danger is that most of us won't realize how dire things are until our mugs are empty. Today the shelves might still look full, but behind the scenes, prices are rising and supply is draining away. So what can you do? Start by stocking up on your favorite roast. Buy an extra bag or two and store it correctly to keep it fresh. Explore alternative blends, like chicory mixes or caffeine substitutes, to tide you over if your go-to beans vanish. Remember, coffee isn't just a drink. It's a ritual, a comforting routine millions depend on every morning. And with climate chaos and shaky supply chains threatening your next cup, it's time to prepare now, before you face a coffeeless May 2025. Imagine strolling down the candy aisle, planning to pick up your go-to chocolate bar, only to find bare shelves where your favorites used to be. That comforting treat you've relied on after a long day, the Hershey's, Cadbury, Mars bars, are on the brink of extinction. Right now, mid-range chocolate makers, who can't outbid premium brands for dwindling cocoa supply, are sounding the alarm on what insiders are calling the chocolate middle-class extinction. It's so bad that several major chocolate festivals slated for spring 2025 have already been cancelled. One chocolatier I spoke with admitted they're quietly reformulating products with more fillers and less cocoa just to stretch their supplies. But there's only so much you can do before your favorite candy bars vanish forever. Climate change and disease are squeezing West Africa's cocoa farms dry. A fungal menace called swollen shoot virus is bulldozing up to 40% of Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire's cocoa crops, over 60% of the world's supply, faster than anyone predicted 6 months ago. On top of that, new labor laws have throttled the cheap workforce big chocolate companies once exploited. Just last month, 3 chocolate giants were fined $215 million for labor violations, triggering a scramble for ethical suppliers who simply can't meet demand. Ironically, it's not the luxury truffles or single-origin bars that are disappearing. They've locked in exclusive contracts at premium prices. It's the everyday candy bars that families love. Experts warn cocoa prices could spike by 75% by April, with empty shelves by early May. Remember the box of Valentine's chocolates you just devoured? That might be the last affordable box you see for years. If chocolate is your weakness, now's the time to stock up. Carefully, of course, not hoard, but don't wait too long. Warehouse clubs and big box stores have already reported panic buying starting 2 weeks ago. And this crisis won't end soon. Climate scientists predict rising temperatures will push cocoa farming higher up hillsides into ever-shrinking areas. So whether it's lining your pantry with extra bars or exploring cocoa-light alternatives like carob or nut-based snacks, you need a plan now, before your chocolate habit becomes a luxury only a few can afford. Next up, dairy products. Your morning latte or scrambled egg routine is about to get seriously disrupted. In the heart of America's dairy belt, family farms are folding at a heartbreaking pace. Just last week, 3 Wisconsin farms, each more than 70 years old, announced they're shutting down. Imagine a business that survived the Great Depression and 2 world wars, closing in 2025. Feed costs have soared 43% since January, and energy bills to run milking equipment have nearly doubled. One Vermont dairy farmer told me, "We're working harder than ever to lose money." Thousands of operations nationwide are in the same sinking boat. The first casualties on grocery shelves? Specialty yogurts? Notice certain brands missing lately? That's just the beginning. Organic milk, especially whole milk, will be next to vanish by late April. Then expect cream cheese and artisanal cheeses to become near impossible to find. The American Dairy Association reported a 27% drop in butter production compared to last year. If trends continue, butter prices could double by June. Remember the 2020 panic buying butter shortage? That was nothing compared to what's coming. Smaller farms can't compete, so big corporate dairy conglomerates are snapping up land, but they focus on high-volume, lower-quality products. The European-style, grass-fed butters you love are made by the very farms disappearing fastest. My advice? Stock up on powdered milk and freeze butter while you still can. I've already stashed 2 pounds in my freezer and swapped to shelf-stable cream alternatives. When December holiday baking rolls around, you'll thank yourself. And here's a silver lining. Local farmers markets and small producers might become your lifeline. Building relationships now could be the key to keeping dairy on your table when grocery stores run dry. Finally, imported fruits. The bright exotic produce you crave is quietly disappearing too. Walk into the produce section next month and you might see entire rows empty. It's not hoarding or a fluke of bad weather. It's a perfect storm of port congestion, container shortages and fuel price spikes. That succulent pineapple or ripe mango could be stuck on a ship off California's coast for weeks. By the time it reaches shore, it's overripe or tossed out. Starting this month, new USDA and FDA inspection rules will delay perishable imports like dragon fruit, kiwis and mangoes even longer, making those delays deadly for fresh fruit. And some top suppliers, Mexico, Ecuador, are now sending their best cargo to Europe and Asia, where they get better trade deals, leaving the US fighting for scraps. A major distributor in Texas reported a 30% drop in imported fruit stock over the last 4 weeks, and smaller chains are feeling the squeeze even more. If fresh mangoes and pineapples are your weakness, consider stocking up on frozen bags while you still can, and explore frozen fruit blends for smoothies. Canned tropical fruits will hold you over too. But don't wait until next week when it might be too late. The produce section you take for granted is under siege, and your best defense is to anticipate these changes now, before those empty spaces become the new normal. The price of olive oil, it's skyrocketing too, with some varieties already reaching record highs. Spain, one of the largest producers of olive oil, has been hit with severe droughts, slashing their crop yield by nearly 50% this year. This has created a perfect storm where demand is outstripping supply, driving prices up and making it harder to find on shelves. If you use olive oil frequently, now is the time to consider alternatives like sunflower or rice bran oil. Both are great for cooking and more affordable at the moment. The bottom line? Specialty oils are a ticking time bomb. Whether it's for dietary needs or just daily cooking, your favorite oils may be hard to find or unaffordable in the coming months. If you're struggling to find walnut or avocado oil, consider stocking up on alternatives like cold-pressed sunflower oil or rice bran oil before they become scarce. And surprisingly, traditional fats like lard and tallow are seeing a resurgence, which might not only be a nostalgic addition to your kitchen, but a practical one too. If you're noticing gaps in your grocery store, take a deep breath. It's a sign of much bigger issues at play. The interconnectedness of climate, politics, and trade is disrupting the food supply chain in ways we haven't seen before. If you're not ready yet, it's time to start thinking ahead, because the days of casually strolling into the grocery store and picking up what you want are numbered. In the coming months, expect to see more shortages across different food categories, whether it's specialty oils, dairy, or grains. The food system is facing a strain that will affect everyone. It might sound dramatic, but with everything from labor shortages to supply chain disruptions wreaking havoc on our food systems, your grocery store's shelves may look very different by the summer. So, how do you prepare? Gradually stock up on the items you use most often, but avoid panic buying. Look for alternatives and make sure you're storing them properly to ensure longer shelf life. It's about being proactive and adaptable. If you act now, you can make sure your pantry isn't left empty when prices surge or shelves go bare. As the situation evolves, food might become more than just a purchase. It could turn into a valuable commodity. The food we take for granted now could become a luxury in the near future. Picture this. You stride into your local grocery store, expecting to find your usual staples, only to see empty shelves where coconut oil, frozen veggies, and canned beans once sat. Coconut oil, still abundant for now, could vanish fast once everyone discovers its versatility as a solid at room temperature substitute for dietary and cooking needs. But don't wait for that scramble. Stock up while supplies hold.